I'm starting now already.
All right, sounds good.
So this is Jonathan Nott, famous drum player of Sons of some name that starts with C. What's
Cascadia.
Cascadia?
Cascadia.
All right,
I don't
cool.
even know what it means, but yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? So
Good. How are you?
so we actually did this before, and the sound got all screwed up. So we're giving it another shot now. So hopefully
Yeah, I thought
it'll.
I had a strange sense of deja vu.
Yeah. Right. So okay. So you have been in typology for a while, I guess. You started out with your you said 16 personality types, if I remember, and then
Yeah,
they
16
typed you,
personalities.
yeah, and they typed you an INTJ or INFJ.
INFJ, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. And
that's it.
then when did you figure out you were not an INFJ?
Only like probably 2 or 3 months ago now.
Oh,
When I
really?
went through went through the objective personality system. Um,
Wow.
I kind of found Dave online and subscribed to the class. Really loved all the stuff.
Are you still in the
And
class now?
yeah, still in the class.
Cool.
I've kind of not. I'm trying to like keep up with all the content, but
Right.
it's coming out too quick, and I can't like stay on top of it.
That's a good complaint, I guess. Too much
Yeah,
content.
it is too much content. You got to stop.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's really good stuff, and I kind of flick back to it here and there just to kind of keep in up to date with what they're doing and the typing
Right.
and stuff. But yeah, they typed me as an ENFP, NEFI, consume, sleep, play, blast.
Right. So
No audio.
we'll get through that a little bit slower because it'll be hard for people to get through that. So we'll start
Yeah,
off
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So your main function is NE, right?
Yes.
All right. So tell me
NE.
a little bit about your NE.
Annie is just all of like just loves new. So like I don't know, my mind is always kind of just like exploring new ideas and like new possibilities.
Right.
And just I guess yeah, I think I get bored easily, like especially when I'm doing the same thing. I kind of need to be entertained by like new stimuli, if that makes sense. So like
Right.
just new things happening. Like at work, if there's nothing, if it hasn't been any like major change at work, and if it's just kind of the same routine thing over and over for a few months, and I just kind of get a bit bored. I like
Right.
change and I like to just keep things fresh. So
Right. And you
that's some
said that
examples.
one of the things that was with NE was that you would also vision where you wanted to be in 10 years or envision the future on how you want it to be all the time. I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that kind of comes into play with the FI as a secondary.
Right.
Kind of like I have these values, I have these, or I have things that I value, things that I have, I guess, built up a kind of like towards, things that I enjoy in life. I kind of through a big collection of things that I like. And that's kind of somehow meshed into together to kind of project some kind of ideal future that I see.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think with the NE, I'm trying to like gather and build towards
Well, I thought
that
it
kind
was
of
really
vision.
interesting. I thought it was really interesting because like that's what gurus are trying to teach, like envision your future all the time and you're just doing it naturally without even thinking about it sort of thing or
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey? Like a lot of self development kind of books and stuff. They say exact same thing. Like it's like
right.
just envision yourself. Like play a video in your head of what you see in the future of what you want it to be like, and it's kind of like that will just manifest out into life.
Right.
The more you kind of visualize it and kind of do it, I guess.
Right. And have you noticed that that works or is it just sort of?
I don't know. It's probably still too early days to tell. Like I've only
Right.
just really kind of been on this self discovery in the last 2 years. So
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I
Cool.
think so. I mean, I've started a business with a friend, so like, and that's always something I wanted to do. So I guess that's kind of
I didn't know that. You said you
one
were
of
in
the.
IT and then you also have another
Yeah,
business? Yeah.
yeah. It's a business I'm kind of doing on the side, like outside of like working hours.
Okay, yeah.
It's changed a lot. Like what we started off as like wanting to do just like a health company, like trying to teach people how to like lose weight through coaching and
Okay.
through like self development type thing.
So your product was
Um,
coaching?
yeah, it was basically coaching, just
Okay.
trying to give people hacks to
Right.
implement in their day in order to kind of you know um, implement some weight loss and to kind of get people to start thinking more positive and to try to let those effects kind of manifest out into the physical.
So that's pretty cool. You're like actually doing well. You're for a last person. Like, yeah, like
Yeah,
this kind
I'm
of thing is
peacocking
not.
right now.
Are
Just
you
peacocking.
okay? Nice. Okay.
Nah, yeah.
So okay. So then, what are
Um,
you guys doing now? Then, if it's not that.
yeah, so that kind of derailed quite quickly because we found that like people that want to lose weight, they're kind of sucked into the fast results kind of mentality because the weight loss industry is saturated with like all these quick products. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
these pills you can take, these shakes, all these like really quick fixes, and that's what people want. People want quick fix.
I think the quickest fix is teach them to play a drum beat at 32 hits per second.
Yeah, that'll burn a
Yeah.
lot of calories for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and our solution wasn't a quick fix. It's like, we developed an online training portal with all these videos to kind of help people to understand our philosophy, but it didn't really work. So we kind of decided to kind of park that on the side for now, and we're actually now doing digital marketing.
No.
So completely different niche.
Yeah. Same
but
business name?
No, it's completely different.
All right.
But similar back-end systems. So there wasn't a huge change for us, like back-end wise, like the systems we use, but just the front end, just new images, new marketing kind of stuff. So.
Right. So one of the things I noticed with you is that your SI is really funny. It's really peculiar because on the one hand, you're like super organized in so many things. And I don't know if that's just like you being able, like putting a lot of effort into it and like actually succeeding. And then on the other hand, you're like super not SI. Yeah. So
yeah, I think, yeah. So like, you mean like the list of stuff I listed
you
down
had like
all the
this,
things that I.
yeah, and you had all your friends listed in like a spreadsheet for MBTI, and you have a whiteboard with a list of all your things you want to do, and yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like I can do a little bit of SI, so I've got lists everywhere.
Right.
But there's lists everywhere that aren't,
And planning out
like
your day,
together.
completely planning out
Yeah,
your day.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like I've got a bit of a routine that I wake up at 5:30, go to the gym. So every day I alternate. So one day I'll go to the gym, the next day I'll do yoga. So I'll do
Right.
gym, yoga. It's just to kind of, I don't know, I want to kind of get my
Keep
body
your
a bit
NE
more
happy.
flexible.
And also,
Yeah,
not do the same thing every day.
yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, wake up, make breakfast, just watch some motivation videos, get ready for work, and then just
Cool.
kind of keep my day off.
And then on the other hand, you said you were talking about like traffic tickets that were piling up or things like that, or
Yeah.
tollway or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So my vehicle, like we've got a lot of toll roads in Sydney,
Right.
and my car, I lost the tag, which it beeps every time you drive.
Yeah,
on
you
the
said
highway.
it fell in your car or something, and you didn't bother putting it
Yeah,
back up.
that's it. It
Yeah.
fell off, like I've lost it or something. And yeah, I just kept using these toll roads because it's the quickest way to get around. And over a period of like a year or something, I racked up like 50 toll notices, had a stack of letters like this high. And I just remember one day I'm just like, all right, just got to do it now. So I just opened them all
Right.
up, laid them all over the floor, like covered like, I don't know, a quarter of the living room.
Right. So paperwork is like your nightmare.
100%.
Yeah.
I hate
Okay.
papers. As soon as letters come in, like I just like I check the letterbox. If it doesn't have my name on it, I just literally just throw it straight out. If it has my
Right.
name on it, I'll look at it quickly. If I need to keep it, no, just get rid of it.
Right. Okay. And then you said your FE was okay. So let's do that. The masculine, feminine. So your NE you said was feminine, and your SI was masculine.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
how do you see that come into play?
I've not really thought about it too much,
Right.
but I guess so. I guess the feminine NE is good in the sense that it can kind of like work its way around the sensory, because the sensory for me is like immovable. It's like, no, this is what it is. I've got to do it this way, or like I'm kind of building something. If there's
Like
a
your
problem,
lists and your daily plans. So your NE is just moving around those daily plans.
Yeah.
And you got to stick to it. Like you
Yeah.
won't give up on your daily plans at all.
Yeah. Actually, a perfect example of that is like, so I used to catch a bus to work. And I was just taking this route the whole time. I could wake up, walk out the door, walk up the street, catch a bus. And my girlfriend was like, "Oh, look, maybe we can start taking this other way." I'm like, "Oh, okay, we'll try it." We tried it, and it ended up taking like 10 minutes longer. And I was just starting to get like frustrated because like, I'm going to be late for work. I'm like
Right.
freaking out a little bit. And I guess as a demon, I was like, I don't know, it kind of, if you mess with the routine too much, it can kind of like, it triggers me. I get a bit angry and annoyed.
Yeah. Wow.
But I need to learn to not be such a dick
Yeah,
about that.
I think I'm also pretty strict with my like not my routines, but with if I tell somebody that I'm gonna do something, or if I make a plan or something, and then like it's important that it's the same thing. So like
Yeah.
my wife changed our wedding day on us where like we already sent out the
Oh,
invitations, and I was just like, no, you can't do that. Yeah, it was
do you know
crazy.
her type? What's her type?
I think she's some kind of SIFI or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah,
Feminine,
it's really
feminine.
hard for me to type my wife. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's hard to type people you know. Very
Yeah, it's
hard.
supposed to be easy to type people that you know, but I don't know. I don't know. Like it's hard to type
Yeah.
yourself, I guess, but
I think animals are the easiest to work out. It takes
right,
time. You've got to know them,
right,
and
right,
you can kind of see animals and swing, demon swings, and all
right,
that
right.
kind of stuff. But functions, I
So,
think, is the hardest.
so your first animal is consume
Yeah.
because you're NE FI,
Yeah.
and then you go to play,
Sleep.
sleep second. Okay, all right.
So that's
Well, consume,
FISI.
sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so so before you go and think and ponder something, you have to research it, sort of thing. Like that's the order it
Yeah.
goes. Right.
Well, before I do anything, I have to like prepare myself. Like I've got to research it. I've got to figure it all out. I've got to
Right.
understand is there going to be any
Right.
problems? Like
That's
kind of
like that's
stuff.
more the consume over blast, but like the sleep section is when you're like introspecting. So you're introspecting in your SI FI sort of way, and so
Hmm.
like and so you would consume before you can introspect.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like an example of sleep for me is like, and I've actually written about this in the Facebook group,
Okay.
is that I kind of, whenever I'm in sleep mode, I'm kind of like just going back in time, like, or sometimes in the future, but more just kind of replaying scenarios or replaying events in my mind. And I
Right.
think that's like the SI. The SI is kind of taking the sensories going back and just reliving the moment. And the FI is kind of like just re-evaluating what happened. So
Right.
for me, it's like if I've had a conversation with someone, I'm kind of going back and just trying to like figure out how, like, how did the conversation play out? And I started evaluating, like, how did the person respond? And just to try to get triggers or something to see, like, if they took it well or if they basically how they responded to what our conversation. That's one example. But it's
Okay.
kind of like re-evaluating like the past, I
The
guess.
past. Okay. All right. So it's less
Yeah.
about like reflecting on what you've learned or something.
Um, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
there's probably heaps more that I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
not actually
You're not
discovered
aware
yet.
of
But
too. Yeah.
yeah, but now
Right.
you've mentioned it, I'm gonna start thinking about that now.
Yeah. All right. And then your plays third. That's your NETE. We haven't talked about T yet, but like your NE. So that's your NT area. So it's your puzzling area. So that's where like your
Yeah,
music and your drums come into play too. You think?
probably. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Like you
And also
really
like,
puzzle with the drums and like you learn by doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Like I like to get my hands dirty and like just whenever I'm learning something, just get kind of hands on and just figuring it out,
Right.
moving things around. I love whiteboarding and like just brainstorming ideas on a board and just trying to figure out like solutions to problems on a whiteboard.
Right.
Just like at work, so I work in IT, and a lot of the time when there's an issue that I can't fully understand, like I'll just map out how everything is connected logically on a
Right.
whiteboard and just kind of just like draw where I think the problem might be and just helps me figure out problems.
Yeah, it's really NT. Yeah, putting it. Yeah,
Yeah,
in that playing with it outside of yourself. Yeah,
yeah,
objectively.
that's it. Yeah,
Cool.
there you go.
And so you're not visual. So how does that work? That you're not visual, but you're able to do it visually. I guess when you
I
put it out.
just
Yeah.
I just do it with my eyes closed. So I just,
Nah.
um,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. All
Um,
right. That's
it's
cool.
the visual, like the sexuals is not something I've really looked into much. I mean, I know that I'm audio, so I kind of like try to figure out how that applies to me. And I guess like I do enjoy listening to people teach, like as opposed to reading. I like reading, but like I think I prefer someone to kind of like feed it to me, like, or like an audiobook or something.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
listening and
Yeah. I
paying
don't know,
attention.
but like maybe your music is more audio too, like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
maybe.
okay, so your FI is I don't remember, male or female?
Masculine,
Masculine.
male.
Masculine. Okay.
Don't fuck with
So
me.
so so how does that
No.
so that's like your unmovable identity. If you like something, that's it. You like it. If you value it, you value
100%.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I don't like it, I do not give a shit about it. Like,
Right.
don't even try to convince me. I'm like, no, I've had a look at that. I'm like, do not like it. It's not line up with my values.
Well,
It's not perfect enough for me. So I'm like, don't care.
you have like an example of something or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What can I look at? Probably. Okay. So let's talk about coffee. All right. I love coffee.
Right.
In Australia, coffee is very. There's a lot of coffee snobs, and what I mean by that is like people have kind of taken coffee to the next level of snobbery by like trying to get the perfect cup of coffee.
Right.
So to give you an example, like Starbucks, right?
Right.
If you were to say to an Australian, "Hey, let's go to Starbucks," they'll be like, "What the hell? Are you crazy? Like that stuff sucks."
So how are there Starbucks in Australia for tourists?
There's like one. There was actually heaps, but now there's like one or two now.
Okay.
But basically, it's just the way they make it. It's very like kind of mass produced, and it's not. They haven't taken it to the next level by like roasting it at a specific temperature and like sourcing their beans from like underneath a waterfall in Ethiopia that's grown like in an elevation of like 3,000 feet.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. Like it's super like people are taking it to the next level like crazily over here. So where I was going with that is, yeah, if you were to give me like an espresso machine or like an espresso coffee, I just feel like, no, I do not like that. But with like 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty good. But now, because I've kind of discovered this like new level of delicious coffee, I'm just like, no, don't like the old shit. Do not want to touch it.
That might also tie into masculine SI for like that's your sensory. So like, is it because of your taste or because of your value to it?
I think it's definitely a taste. Like
it's a
definitely
taste.
Like the quality is like crazily better.
Right.
And
so that could be an SI.
Like, well,
yeah, that's your experience.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
Wow. Okay. All right.
There you go. Helping me learn about myself.
Yeah. Okay. So then your TE, you're a double decider, and so you see that come into play a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Double deciding. Like I generally do not have any issues with people at all.
Okay.
I actually find myself getting in the middle of like other people's issues and trying to help them like rationalize and help them actually like figure out like.
Right. Yeah. You were saying people just naturally call you in to help them, sort of thing. It's like,
yeah, like it's strange. Like I don't know if people's like I do have a big sign above my head that says like counselor or something.
Yeah.
Because seriously, like people just I don't know. People must just feel really comfortable with me. I guess I'm good at listening. Like I don't and.
It's
so
also, it might also be like a feminine external decider is kind of friendlier to talk to, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Very good point.
Because you're not like pushing yourself on them. You're letting them like,
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, just people just come up to me. They feel comfortable talking to me, and people share stuff with me that's like pretty like deep stuff. I'm like, oh, you surely want to talk about this? I'm like, yeah, all right, let's talk about it. And then I don't know. I kind of help them through it. I help them see like.
Possibilities,
the positives, yeah, exactly, the possibilities.
Brainstorm.
Like people come to you with negatives, and then you can kind of flip it around and say, "Well, here's the positives of what you've just told me."
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. There you
cool,
go.
Man. And then your blast last. What's that?
Blast last is interesting. So there's kind of two pieces to that. For me, it's like. Well, getting started, just getting up and actually getting something moving, like a project or working on something. having consume and sleep first, it's like I need to get everything perfect. I need to understand it perfectly. I need to understand how everything works before I can like actually start building it.
Right.
Whereas I think someone with blast first is just like, oh, let's just piece it together. Let's just figure out how it works.
Right.
But
NEs
so there's
generally
that thing.
wing things better, like more. They generally just don't care about trying something new and stuff like that, right?
That's true. But like, so I moved house like about a few months ago, and we went to Ikea and bought a whole heap of furniture.
Okay.
And I found it strange that I was meticulously going through the instructions, like just reading every single step just to make sure I get it perfect. Even though I'm NE first. But the thing that I thought is that maybe that's because I'm a sleep savior. I don't want to mess it up and have to go back and undo
waste
things
energy.
and put it back together. Yeah, waste energy. So I'm like, I want to consume this manual. I want to get it perfect and do it once and never have to look at it again.
Right. But at the same time, you're not afraid to go and do it.
No, I love jumping in and
Right.
just figuring situations out and
Okay.
problems.
So it's more about like the order you want to do things, unless you're not afraid to go and do something. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
The other side to blast last is like actually like communicating.
Right.
So like this session right here is not a good example of how I'm missing blast at all. But I guess like having to, like, I hate phone calls. Like I pretty much ignore like 80% of the phone calls that I get on my phone because I'm just like, do not feel like talking. What is this? I don't care. Yeah. Like, is someone chasing me up for a bill? Like, do I owe someone money, or is the bank, trying to say, hey, your account, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, well, I'll do it later.
Right.
Type thing.
Right. But so this kind of thing, your information is readily available, but like you need to prepare yourself before you go and talk or something. Like,
so for as this Zoom session as an example, I didn't really have to prepare anything.
Right.
I guess because it's more like of a play scenario, like we're kind of just like having a chat. It's not like me giving a speech.
Right.
Preparing information.
Right.
Example of that is at work, I sometimes have to like blast in a speech kind of fashion. We do like a daily huddle every morning. And when my boss is not in, it's like, oh, can you please do the huddle? I'm like, okay, that means I have to go. I have to figure out like what were the problems yesterday, what were the wins for yesterday. I need to go into like look at the statistics of like how many tickets and how many jobs we worked on. I need to kind of order that, and then I have to then present it in front of everyone.
Right.
And yeah, it's kind of awkward doing that. Right. I prefer to just wing it and just like have like an open conversation. But if I have to like explain something in like kind of like a report, it's just like, well, this sucks.
Right. Cool, man. So I don't really know what more we could. I think we touched on everything a little bit, right? Like,
yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
TE, SO, FI,
yeah. Awesome, man. Thanks a lot. So I'll end it here. It's nice for it to be short, anyways, and yeah. Very good talking to you again. It's very ironic coming from an NE.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's good talking to you, man. Thank you so much for this. It was really cool.
Yeah, thanks for doing it again. Yeah. Okay. Peace. Later.